I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
Wow, guys, this guy Chuck Schumer is trying to say Biden was in good health the whole entire time he was in office, and his health was never declining. That all just doesn't make sense, and Trump is going after him. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button so you don't miss none of the new videos I post. Let's get right to it.
Kristen, good to be back, and Happy New Year to you and your family and to all of America.
Oh, Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for being here on this first Sunday of the new.
I don't want to be that guy, but every time we react to anybody that is a Republican that interviews with Kristen Welker, she never has good faith. She's never nice to them. She never will say good morning, good afternoon, how are you doing, how's the family. She never says anything like that. But this guy Chuck gets on there, this clown gets on there, and all of a sudden she has manners, right? She wants to be polite. Man, Kristen Welker, oh my God.
Leader Schumer, I'm curious where you see those potential areas. In my interview with President-elect Trump, he said he's open to potentially getting a deal for Dreamers, those who were brought to the country illegally as children, to be able to stay here permanently. Do you think that that is feasible? You heard Leader Thune say, yes, he thinks there are some areas of bipartisanship there. Do you think a deal on Dreamers is possible?
Well, we'd love to do that. Our party has been strongly fighting for the Dreamers for a decade. We've been blocked by our colleagues on the other side of the aisle. If there's going to be a change and we can get some help, look, these are people, they were little tiny children when they were brought over the border. Many of them have been here for decades. Some have served in the armed forces. Many of them are working very productively and have families. And yes, if we can find a solution so that the Dreamers could stay here, we'd welcome it.
This guy has had 30 years plus to find a solution and has done nothing. He's a liar, a thief. All he's doing is just draining the U.S., your tax dollars. He's just draining us for money. That's all he's doing. This guy's a grade A cheat. A grade A cheat.
You know, you heard Leader Thune in terms of President-elect Trump's cabinet say that the Senate should work, quote, as quickly as possible to get his cabinet picks in place. And basically saying that if his national security picks are not in place quickly, that could undermine the nation's national security. Do you agree with Leader Thune there?
Look, we've asked for three things that are reasonable. First, that there be thorough FBI background checks of every one of the nominees at the cabinet level. Second, that there be hearings where members have the opportunity to fully ask the questions that they want answered. And then third, there be a vote. That's been the tradition here under Democratic and Republican presidents. It's been advise and consent. And look, any American who applies for a job has to undergo a background check, has to answer questions that the potential employer asks him or her. So, of course, we should do those things, and I hope we will. The bottom line is these positions are really important, as Senator Thune said, for our national security, and the American people should have the ability to know who is being nominated and what their criteria are.
Are you a yes right now?
Characteristics are.
Are you a yes right now on any of these picks?
Notice how he gets to, finish his sentences out, and he's able to speak and answer these questions. Even though it sounds like a bunch of gibberish, he gets to talk, right? You put a Republican on here, you get nothing.
No, I'm waiting for this process, this reasonable process that we've asked for to unfold.
Let's talk
background checks, thorough background checks, hearings, and votes.
All right, let's talk now about the future of the Democratic Party. Democrats have said this is a real reckoning after losing the White House, the Senate not winning back the House. Here's what Democratic strategist James Carville had to say. He wrote, quote, "We lost for one very simple reason. It was, it is, and it will always be the economy. Stupid." Do you agree? What do you think was the root cause of Democrats across the board loss?
Well, look, I told my caucus, and I'll say it here, too. We should regard this election, certainly it was a loss, but it's also a challenge. And we did some things right. Against very severe headwinds, we kept 4 of those 7 contested Democratic seats. But we did some things wrong, and we have to look in the mirror and see what we did wrong. And then there are some things we didn't do that we should have done. One of the things we have to do is we must focus on the working families of America. We believe in them. And we passed all kinds of legislation that helped them. The infrastructure bill, which made our economy stronger and employed lots of people. The chip hubs, where we're now having chip hubs in places to do new manufacturing and new research that were left out before. Missoula, Montana, Bloomington.
Is he really sitting here saying that Biden's a good president? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Indiana. The bill lowering the cost of prescription drugs. As of January 1st, 10 of the most popular prescription drugs will be greatly lowered because we finally allowed, under our leadership, the drug companies, we forced them to negotiate with Medicare. So we did a lot of good things, but all too often, Kristen, we talked about the mechanics of the legislation and the details of the legislation, and we really didn't show the kind of empathy and concern to average, or show enough of it to average working families who didn't realize how much we had done and how much we care for them. So what we're going to do is spend a lot of time talking to working families, showing them how much we care about them, and not just talk about legislation, but talk about the conditions that have made so many working families worried about their futures. And that's going to be a significant change.
And obviously,
I think it will make a difference.
Obviously, there has been a lot of focus on President Biden's role in this. You were obviously in close contact with President Biden well before the public tuned into that debate that ultimately led to him stepping down. I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
If he's saying Biden is healthy, I don't think that guy's healthy, right? Like, do you guys agree with me on that? Like, there's no way you say Biden's healthy and you're right in your mind. This guy is the same person that said, something about healthcare. Man, let's keep going, man. If it comes to my mind, I'll stop the video and say it. Let's keep going.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top
Biden said he defeated Medicare. Come on, man. That doesn't sound like someone with a great mental acuity.
Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
Look, we didn't. And let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot. He's a great guy, and when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Do you feel, as we have this conversation today, that President Biden could serve another 4 years had he stayed in the race and potentially won?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. As I said, I think his record.
And there you go, guys. That is a person just lying to you. He's lying to your face. She asked, do you think he could serve another 4 years? Oh, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to answer that. But you just said that his mental acuity was there, right? Are you not, like, being a hypocrite? Like, are you not going back on your words? That doesn't make sense to me, guys. I don't know how you could defend a lie to the end like this. Like, you should be ashamed at this point, right? Man, let me know what you guys think about this video and how Kristen Walker is so calm when she has one of these horrible Democrats on her show. This is getting out of hand, and January 20th, man, it's going to be something crazy. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Let me know. We out.